Mercy, Daddy. We're live from Jonesboro, Arkansas. I didn't get to live from Jonesboro, Arkansas. That's right. STSpod.club and Rollin Into Mempho, baby. This is episode 18. Can you believe it? 18. And I got alongside my co-host with the most, RynoJB. How the hell are you, Rhino?
Man, I'm doing great today. It's Saturday, so it's always a good day.
That's right. That's right. It's raining like a big dog here in Jonesboro. You know how that is a lot of rain, like a big dog. You know that, don't you?
I've heard of cats and dogs, but big dogs, I don't want to see it.
Right. All right. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to look on the screen, everybody. You see what it says, free wrestling today. We have Hornswoggle. He's even touched, his head's touching RynoJB if you're watching the video version. If you're watching the video version, and Rhino, this is the first time, and maybe the last time you ever hear me say this, but I want you to stop watching the stream right now. If you're anywhere near Hernando, Mississippi, if you're close to it, if you can get there right now, at this point, they're doing a meet and greet. At 2 o'clock is free wrestling. Swoggle's going to be there. The celebration looks awesome. I've seen some video from it this morning. I really want you just to get off, quit looking at us, leave. The audio version will be available when you leave the wrestling. Go to wrestling. It's free, and then you can listen to our audio version. Man, I can't believe I told people to quit watching this. And before we go, first of all, put over the Twitch channel so everybody can watch us also on Twitch.
The Twitch channel is going through a little bit of a schedule conflict at the moment, but we're going to definitely be live every Monday night with wrestling, representing Woodward Sports as well. Shout out to Woodward Sports out there in Detroit. But every Monday night at 9 p.m., we will be live with wrestling action, sometimes a little bit earlier. But things are getting pretty intense. Shout out to Woodward. Shout out to Championship Wrestling. Every Monday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Come join us.
All right. And before we get started, I want to apologize if anyone came out of last week's show thinking that Action Jackson was wrestling Alan Steele in the main event, because I got excited. I thought they were supposed to be wrestling on Saturday night. Last Saturday night. So I want to make sure that they did not announce that on television. It was just me getting excited about it. Eventually, we're going to get that matchup. Hopefully next week, who knows? And if this is the first time you've been with us, we do roundtable hits, misses, MVP. What do you look forward to next week? And thumbs up and thumbs down. And we'll start with you, Rhino. What's the hits, man?
The hits for me this week, I felt like there were a lot. The one thing I got to do is say shout out to the production crew. We didn't see much of the floor. Last week I mentioned I did not like seeing that floor. We didn't see much of that floor. We're seeing a tighter shot with the cameras. And I'm hoping, I know I'm supposed to wait for to say this for next week, but I'm hoping next week we get some stronger, tighter camera angles from the men around the ring. But it was a hit for me. The camera angles were a hit for me. Mike Anthony returning was a hit for me. Action Jackson was a hit for me, not just on commentary, but his interference there in the main event. And also the video clips of what happened on Saturday night was a hit for me. So those are my hits.
All right. You know what? I thought it was solid wrestling today. I liked that part of it. Not a lot of mess-ups. We did have one mess-up. I'll mention that here in a minute. Max Stone. Man, they gave Max Stone a lot. Vicious pat him on the back. He gave Stone a lot more than most people do. Stone is going to be somebody that we're going to look at probably down the road, as in, this is a story that we're going to look at where Dustin says, hey, he hasn't won yet. Hey, he hasn't won yet. And Stone said something on Twitter that somebody asked him, hey, what are you doing? You hadn't won a match yet. Just wait, guys. Just wait. This kid is going to be really, really good. I thought he was solid in the match. Good, solid girls match. Not a lot of mess ups there. Hot tag was really good with. I love what Nikki Lane did. Nikki Lane did a hot tag, and Caitlin did not feed her, so she just went over there and clotheslined her in the corner, which I love that. But, I mentioned this. Did I mention this last week? It feels like a Nikki Lane's fixing to do a heel turn. It just
I don't think you mentioned that last week.
Are we going to go with Diana Taylor? Someone's going to turn between those two. I don't know what's going on. Something's going to happen. I like all that. Super kick on Danny B. Derek the King is back. Like that. Love the women's belt. Did you see that? Very much just a little bit of a snap and just a view, just a snapshot of the belt. I really like that. And as you said, a huge hit. Guess what? Mike Anthony's back. And guess what? We got him back on the mic. Put that microphone in Mike Anthony's hand every show. I absolutely loved it. The hot tag. I loved his hot tag. We were waiting for him to get in, and he did the hot tag. We knew he was coming out to help Swole, but boom, 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 and did everything. We need a name for the Russian and the Japanese guy. I call him the International Mafia. So there you go. Y'all can use the International Mafia. All right, go ahead. What's your misses for today?
My misses were, I hate to say it again, the audio. There was a time where Action Jackson was speaking on commentary. We just watched the show, so that first comes to mind. He was on commentary, and you could barely hear what he was saying at first. And I was thinking that, man, is this in production's hand? But I don't think it was, because when he grabbed the microphone, if you notice at the end of the match, when he grabs the microphone, he speaks into it, you can clearly hear him. You can hear him clear as day. So I think there's an issue of the microphone not being where it needs to be, and it's not picking up the audio. They got to speak into these microphones. So it translates over.
I hope that someday to be sitting there doing, and if I'll straighten them out, Rhino. If I ever get to sit in with Maria and Dustin, I'll straighten them out on it. I'm sorry. I'm like you. That is a miss almost every time third person sits down. Go ahead. What's the other misses for you?
It's not really a miss, but like you said, this was more about wrestling. It felt like a filler episode. We've gotten so many episodes that were entertainment driven. This was more wrestling driven, but it felt like a filler episode. We've always been building up to something. Felt like for the first time we weren't really building. I mean, we are. Shout out to Action Jackson and the Heritage Championship was still, but it all around the show there was a constant build up towards something. This time around, just kind of felt like we're getting started. It's almost like we're starting a new era, almost in a way.
A new arc chapter. Is what you do. A new arc, a new chapter, like you do in comic books. The after the big show, after the big event, is the hardest few shows always for me as a booker. I never knew what to do. And I've noticed a lot of bookers in the area, what they do is that first show after the big one. I remember seeing a big show where some kid was pushed and he didn't win the belt, but he was close to winning the belt. Well, the next show, he was in the opening match. And I was like, what? What did you do? They don't know what to do. I like you said, we got a little bit of rest. Let's settle in. Let's see what's going on. I like the idea of them producing this and saying, this is what happened. This is what happened at the big show. We got the results, blah, blah, blah. I like what they did. I'm like you. They're sitting, waiting on what's going to go, what's going to happen. Misses for me, I love the clips, but you got to have some commentary on them. You got to, and that's, I don't know if that's one of those things where, they could send it to Terrence Ward. I want a different voice on that commentary too. I don't want Dustin doing the commentary. I want Terrence Ward, or if they hire somebody else, doing actually the sound for
Terrence
those clips.
Is great.
Yeah, he is very good, but I'm just saying that's just one of those things we really need. Oh, here we are. Here's the clips from blah blah blah. We needed that. And why did Swole pick Mike Anthony? Let me tell you. There's an old interview that they always did on Memphis Wrestling, and it's always picking the guy that gave them the most trouble. So that's all Swole could have said was, I had to pick my toughest opponent. I had to ask him to be my partner. I thought that was all a little awkward, and they kept saying, why would he call him out? Why would he call Mike Anthony? Because Mike Anthony is a badass. That's why he would call him out. Yeah, so that's what we needed to know.
And I didn't say this, but that was should have been on my miss list. My guy. I love Big Swole Justin Cole, but I want to see him more aggressive. I thought he was way too passive in this episode. Where it's cool, it's fine. Like you said, let me ask my toughest opponent. I wanted him to be more like, who's giving me the most trouble? You know who I've gone to hell and back with?
Right.
Then introduce Mike Anthony. But I want to see more energy. I want to see more aggression from Big Swole Jessica. Hopefully Mike Anthony will rub off on him.
Yeah, he's got to answer that question. And that's the question that before he went through the curtain, somebody should have said, okay, when you walk out there and you get in front of the microphone, tell them why Mike Anthony. Don't just say I picked Mike Anthony kind of thing. There was a mess up with the Danny B and Precious. They did something off of the Danny B was holding the top rope and Precious did something on him. Although I thought Precious looked good today, there was some kind of movement. It was hilarious because Dustin said, I don't know what to call that. And Derek actually said, me neither, just don't call it on me. In other words, he's not doing that damn move. So don't ever call that in a match. He's not going to do it. And a miss for me, and I'm not sure how I feel about this. Maybe I will down the line. Maybe there's something that's going to happen. I love Simon, let me tell you. Big Simon, as they've been calling him. But I don't think I like seeing my champion pinned, especially when we're building for a match with Action Jackson. I'm going to tell you why. If Action Jackson wins the belt, I'm okay. If Action Jackson can't beat Alan Steele, I know Action Jackson helped Simon, but that's just the way I feel. I just really weird about seeing my champion get beat, especially when he's got a big challenge coming up with Action Jackson. All right, how about your MVP for the week?
My MVP this week has got to be Mike Anthony. The guy kills it in the ring. He kills it on the microphone. He's, in my opinion, man, he is a superstar within this brand.
I agree 100%. Before I tell MVP that I gave to this week, I want to tell you I was supposed to have the Skimmerhorns, but we had Brad Skimmerhorn. He's the only one that we had some scheduling conflicts there. It was a fun show. The video's up on Championship for Memphis YouTube page, audio up on www.stspod.club. This week, we have nothing to do with wrestling on Monday with the Record Store, Lance Levine, and we have to wait all the way to next Saturday. We're taking a little vacation for 4th of July week. Actually, only doing one episode, but that's all we're contractual obligated to do anyway. So that's what we're doing. So we only have one episode coming this week, and then me and you back in the seat here. MVP, I agree 100%. Like I said, Mike Anthony is the MVP. Why has it took so long to get this microphone back in this man's hands? I love the idea of him coming in there and just whipping ass. That's pretty much all he does. And that's what you need in someone like that. And him being so aggressive on the microphone, I could see him. I don't even know what direction you go in. Where do you put him? Who do you put him against?
Alan Steele or Action Jackson, whoever's the champ. He's championship material.
I would like to see him in the ring with Austin Lane. I know those two can go at it. So, I'd like to see that.
Off physique, Bret Michaels would be a good one, too.
Right.
Those two guys.
I didn't think about that. Ooh. Yeah. All right, what do you look forward to most on next week's show?
Tag team division and the women's title or championship. More on that. I'm interested in these championships right now. Probably I don't know if that's just me. Maybe some other people are as well. But I'm interested in these championships. I want to see more about these titles, why they're important to the wrestlers, why they're important to Memphis and this brand.
Right on. I look forward to I'm kind of like you. I'm just wondering whether being this, you said it felt like a transition show. Where are we going? Who's going to feud with who? We do have tag team champions. Who are we going to put them? Are they going to be feuding against the Young Goats? It's kind of like I'm asking a lot of questions that I don't know, which is a good thing. That's what I like looking forward to. I like episodic wrestling shows. I like you to start something. And like you said, the end of each, that's the end of this story. Let's start a new story. And that's the kind of stuff I like. Before we do thumbs up or thumbs down, big reminder, if you stuck with us but still want to go to Hernando, Mississippi, wrestling is free in about 40 minutes. That's in about 40 minutes. Also, I know you've seen this, and where is it? It's up here. July the 11th, guys. We have some announcements more about this next week, but July the 11th, Lance Archer, the Murder Hawk, will be doing a signing, autograph signing, meet and greet on July the 11th. July the 11th. Get your tickets now, guys. I'm not just going to say that, but they will sell out to the VIP meet and greet. And we also next week will be talking about the Super Summer Sizzler giveaway coming in July. Patreon members only. Full details right here next week. You have to be a Patreon member to win, but we give away over $100 worth of stuff every time we do a contest. All right, let me shut up. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. I enjoyed it though. I like I said, I felt like it was a filler episode, but kind of transitioning into something else. But that was a plus for me. I'm excited to see what's next for Championship Wrestling from Memphis.
Yeah, I got to give it a thumbs up. I think everything when it comes to the actual wrestling and us asking questions after it is everything's improved. If you go back and watch episode number 1, and we had talked to Brad Skimmerhorn about this too, is that, you don't realize what you're doing until you get out there in front of television. So it's just almost like, they give you, certain amount of minutes. We got to do it. And it's not like doing a house show. And we talked about this a lot where, if they do a house show, most of the time they don't give them the minutes. They just let them go out there, hey, I need at least 20 minutes. I need at least 7 minutes. So Rhino is filling in 7 minutes and getting your moves in. The Skimmerhorns, I told him I was surprised, and I had preached that I thought we're going to have a babyface tag team champions. But I have no problem with the Young Goats, the posse, whoever chasing the Skimmerhorns, and they got Uncle Mikey ringside, so we always have him to look at all times. So, all right, a big thumbs up for me. I love the show. Like I said, I like the way it went. Same bad time, same bad channel, right here next Saturday. I told everyone to leave, so there's probably no one watching.
Wait, BT.
Yes, sir.
I gotta give a huge shout out.
All right,
huge shout out to Big Dan. I gotta give a huge shout out to my man Big Dan.
All right,
I hope he's having a good day.
Good deal. Shout out to Big Dan, y'all. Same bad time, same bad channel on the best little wrestling podcast in the business. Be there, Hernando, Mississippi, today at 2:00. Be there. And as everyone knows, I love my mama.
Me too.